Monica, and today we are going to study about this topic, cell cycle and cell division, from NEET perspective and from BSc perspective. We are going to study the difference between meiosis and mitosis. So basically, if you want to study about the differences between meiosis and mitosis, you basically need to know what is meiosis and mitosis. And I guess you might know what is meiosis, and meiosis and mitosis is a kind of cell division, right? So if you're saying cell division can be broadly divided into meiosis and mitosis. Okay. So, what is basically meiosis and mitosis is basically what we are going to study in detail, and how is it going to happen? What are the stages in it, and what is basically the difference between these two? Okay, we'll be coming towards that, but I can literally come towards what is the difference between meiosis and mitosis, and I can end it over there. But there are a lot of things like DNA. I'm going to say DNA replication. Where does I will say DNA replication is going to happen in the interface. When I say that what is interface, a question might arise in some of your mind, what is interface right now, right? Because majority of you might know, I'm sure of that, but at least for some people they will be like, oh my god, what is interface, and they have to do a lot of researches to understand that. Okay, so I don't want that to happen, and that's the reason that I am going from depth. So basically, we'll be not covering much. We'll be just going through the level, and then we will be jumping towards the BSc first year syllabus, which is basically very simple. If you understand the NEET one, that is differences, meiosis and mitosis. This differences is just a cakewalk. Okay, yes. So let's get started. I have my NCRT over here. Yes, it is into papers, but anyway, ways. So I'll be just reading out the NCRT. I'm hoping that people who are looking forward for NEET might be obviously having the NCRT book. Others who are just listening for the BSc perspective, it's okay, guys. I have you. I'll take care of it. Whatever is important, I will be writing it in just the way that I have written over here. Okay. Yes. So yes, let's begin. Huh. Okay. Are you aware that all organisms, even the largest, and again, I have no idea which this book is. New NCRT or old NCRT. I have no idea on that. As far as I am concerned, I guess yes, it is the new NCRT. Okay. So, anyway, choice. Let's begin. Okay, no more delays. Yes, are you aware that all organisms, even the largest, start their life from a single cell? Yes, you might know that. Henna? Yes, what is basically every cell, even how does multicellular organisms comes? Multicellular organisms comes like there will be first one cell, and from that cell another cell will happen, and then another cell will happen, another cell will happen. This is how it goes. Okay, and how does this process basically take place is basically cell division. So this is what we are going to study in this chapter. Okay, yes, you may wonder how a single cell then goes to form such large organisms. When I say that there are multiple organisms, if you that multiple organisms, just say hum. Okay, we are such a big organisms, so but we were originated, if I say to you that we originated from a single cell, you will believe that? Yes, you have to believe that. And how did that small chintusa cell become this big of an organism? You want to know that? That is what about what is that is what in this chapter is. Okay, yes. You may wonder how a single cell then goes on to form such large organisms. Growth and reproductions are characteristics of cell. Yes, indeed, of all living organisms, growth and reproduction. We'll be saying about growth and about reproduction. I'll just say it in rough. Mitosis is something that is gonna give you the growth. Okay, basically the cell grew. So this is mitosis. Meiosis is basically the division, it gets reduced. Okay, so it is called, the meiosis is called as reduction, reduction, division also. So that gets reduced, that when it gets reduced, I'm not saying it a lot, because if I say it a lot, I'll just go on saying it. I don't want that to happen. So it gets reduced. Basically, meiosis is reduction division. So basically, yes, I'll say that. Okay, if this is one cell to this thing, okay, it was 2n, it gets converted to n. This happens only by meiosis. And why over here meiosis happens in this reduction reaction. The people who might be curious, you might think, oh my god, the chromosome number is different, so the human, the organism formed would be different. No, that is the point over here. This imagine this n came from the egg, which is the female, and then this n came from the sperm, which is the male. Okay, then these two fuse together to form like this 2n, which is ultimately forming 2n. Okay, this is what is gonna form, and this multiplies to form ऐसी structures, so the basic diploid structure, which is 2n of ours, है ना, हमारी बॉडी का जो भी चीज है वो ऐसी ही रहेगा. ठीक है, yes, that is what it is. You're getting it right? Yes. Now I'll go very this thing. Okay. Yes. Wait. Where am I? All cells reproduce by dividing into two, with each parental cell giving rise to two daughter cells each time they divide. Okay, that's what does that mean? They're saying that every cell reproduce by dividing one cell to form two cells. Okay. Yes, two cells. Yes. All cells reproduce by dividing into two, with each parental cell giving rise to two daughter cells each time they divide. Right? Huh. These newly formed daughter cells can themselves grow and divide, giving rise to new cell population, and that is formed by the growth and division of a single parental cell and its progenies. In the other words, such cycle of growth and division allow a single cell to form a structure consisting of a millions of cells. This is the same thing that I'm saying. Okay, it helps one single cell. The cell division is something that is gonna help the cell to become from one cell to a lot of cells. Yes. Then coming to cell cycle, the first topic, cell cycle. Okay. Cell division is an important process in all living organisms. During the division of cell, DNA replications and cell growth take place. Okay, cell division is very important in the process of living organism. Head to cell division is very very important for us. Okay, yes, the division happen for many many reasons, like repairing. You get a wound, you get a wound over here. You are playing and you get a wound. So the skin, you might know that skin might, a few skin might have gone, right? So you might see that ultimately the skin grows back. Why does that happen? That happens because of the cell cycle, है ना? Basically जो भी skin था, this is the wounded area, and here all cells are there, right? I don't want it this big, so I have to draw a lot. So basically, eventually, what happens is that these cells or the boundary keeps on replicating and covers this area. Okay, yes, that's how the wound is being covered up. Okay. Yes. DNA replication and cell divisions also take place. All these processes, that is cell division, DNA replication, and cell growth, hence have to take place in a coordinated way to ensure correct division and formation of progenies. Okay, yes. I was out of my mind. Let me read it again. all these processes, that is cell division, DNA replication, cell growth, hence have to take place in a coordinated manner to ensure the correct division and formation of progeny cells containing intact genomes. Okay, yes, in the cell cycle there are many things happening. First is DNA replication, not first. Okay, yes, but DNA replication is happening, cell growth is happening, cell division is cell division happens, DNA replication happens, cell growth happens, everything is happening. And this is supposed to be happening in a correct order, you know. SNEA, it's something like randomly I just keep a ball of chicks, and randomly I'll choose, and that when I'll get the chick of what to say, cell division, I'll start with cell division. If I get a chick with what to say, um, mm, a sheet with DNA replication, I'll start with DNA replication. Is this how it works? No, this is not how it works. Okay, okay, जी समझ गए. So yes. Hmm. What I'm, yes, ऐसा क्यों होना चाहिए ऐसे करेक्ट ऑर्डर पे, बिकॉज इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर द करेक्ट प्रोजेनीज को ऐसे करेक्ट फॉर्म करने के लिए, और उसके जीन्स को भी ऐसे ही अच्छे तरीके से रखने के लिए इन अ प्रॉपर वे. इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. ओके, यस. The sequence of events by which a cell duplicates its DNA, synthesize the other constituents of the cell, and eventually divide into two daughter cells is called as cell cycle. Okay, what is this was basically the what to say, definition of cell cycle. I can write it. The sequence of events by which a cell duplicates its genome, synthesize the other constituents of cell, and eventually dividing into two daughter cells. Okay, so yes, what is cell cycle basically saying? It is a sequence of events by which a cell duplicates its genome, which is basically the DNA and all, and then synthesize the other constituents. A cell is not just having a DNA; it is having a lot of things like endoplasmic reticulum, ribosomes, and everything. Okay, everything is there depending upon the cell which you are talking about. I was currently talking about the eukaryotic cells. Okay, eukaryotic cells में you will find all the membrane bound organelles like vessel, different what to say, lysosomes you will be finding, ribosomes you will be finding, endoplasmic, you'll be finding endoplasmic reticulum, and a lot of them, a lot of them you'll be finding. So that is what you're saying. Synthesize of the other constituents is also happening over here, and eventually what happens is that one cell gets to and divides into two daughter cells, है ना? Yes, that is what happens over here. Although cell growth in terms of cytoplasmic increase is a continuous process. Hmm. DNA replications occurs only during a yes specific a specific stage in the cell cycle. Okay, one second. Okay. Cell cycle. Okay, yes. Cell cycle is a continuous process. Okay, cell cycle is basically a continuous process. Even though it's cell cycle है, cell cycle क्या हो जाता है? Basically, आपका cycle क्या हो जाता है? There is I will draw the cell cycle when it comes to let's take some more time. Imagine your cycle. Your whatever is the cyclic motion is, you start from here and then you come over here, then you start and you come. That is basically the cyclic motion, and that's what you call everything a cycle. And if, whatever starts and stops in a particular place, that is basically called as what mere bachcha cycle, right? Yes, that is what it is. All the cell growth in terms of cytoplasmic increase is continuous. DNA replication, the cell cycle might go continuously, okay? Yes, cytoplasm and all might increase, but the DNA synthesis, or you can say DNA replication, okay? Cool. That only takes place during a specific stage of the cell cycle. DNA synthesis, okay? DNA synthesis or DNA replication. This happens. The DNA synthesis or DNA replications happen only during a specific stage of the what to say cell cycle, which is called as in the interphase. It happens interphase. Mein, there's something called as S phase or synthesized phase. During that time, only during that S phase, you will see what you will see the DNA replication or DNA synthesis. Okay, am I clear? What is that and all those things? You will come in detail. Wait, थोड़ा देर wait कर लो. ठीक है, yes. थोड़ा सबर कर लो. Okay, fine. So the replicated chromosomes DNA are then distributed to daughter nuclei by a complex series of events during the cell division. Yes. Mm, yes, the DNA replication जो so yes, now we are going to study about the phases of cell cycle. I have said right, मैंने बताया था आपको, we are going to draw cycles, right? We are going to draw cycles, and I am gonna teaching. I'm gonna teach you about the cell cycles, right? The phases of cell cycles, and I have mentioned the S phase, which is the synthesized phase. Yes. Synthesis phase and the M phase is also there, and the interphase is also there. So these phases I'm gonna teach you right now. Okay, yes, phases of cell cycle. Phases of cell cycle. Okay, yes. A typical eukaryotic cell is illustrated by a human cell in culture. These cells divide once in approximately every 24 hours. If you're taking a particular cell, okay, you're taking a particular cell, this cell divides once per day, which is 24 hours. है ना? And out of this 24 hours में क्या हो जाता है? Out of this 24 hours, just 1 hour is 1 hour is taken for the actual division to happen, whereas the other 23 hour is taken for interface. Okay, just 1 hour is taken for the actual division, whereas 23 hours is taken for the interface. The rest phases, okay? Yes, rest of the things other than the M phases. Okay, yes. However, this duration of cell cycle may vary from organism to organism. This I'm talking about a human cell, okay? Who am I talking about? I'm talking about a human cell out here. You know, it is not necessary that for all the cells it is going to be the same hours and the division will happen only in 24 hours and the actual division takes place only by 1 hour. Maybe it might be less, maybe it might be more also. It can vary from organism to organisms. You're getting it? Yes, very good. For example, yeast for example can progress through, sorry, okay, for example yeast की बात करते हैं. So if you're talking about yeast, if you're talking about yeast, what happens in yeast is that yeast can progress through cell cycle. In yeast, cell cycle takes place in 90 minutes. Okay, in how many minutes? In 90 minutes is what cell cycle in yeast is gonna take place. Yes, and okay, the cell cycle is basically divided into. Okay, now these are the phases of cell cycle, and when I'm talking about yeast, may 90 minutes, and for human cell it is 1 day. Okay, human cell division. I didn't quite catch that. Could you please repeat it? Okay, human cell, ह्यूमन सेल की बात करते हैं तो 1 day, let's not write 1 day, let's write 24 hours. एंड ईस्ट सेल की बात करते हैं तो ईस्ट सेल इट इज जस्ट 90 minutes, you know. Okay, cool. Each cells happens, cell division takes place in 90 minutes. It takes place. Okay, yes. Now, cell cycle is basically divided into two, which is interphase and M phase. Okay, interface and M phase में हो जाता है. It takes place. Cell cycle basically takes place in interface and M phase. Okay, yes. The M phase represents the phase when the actual cell. What is this M phase that I said? M phase is basically the phase in which the actual division or mitosis happens. Actual division or mitosis. M over here stands for what, my bacha? Mitosis. Okay, mitosis. M over here stands for mitosis. Okay, yes, mitosis happens. Yes, mitosis occurs, and the interface represents the phase between the successive M phase. So, interface. If what is interface पूछेंगे तो it is just the gap between the it's a phase basically. It's not a gap or something. It is a phase. Okay. So imagine this is your M phase. So this is your interface. Okay. The phase between two successive M phase. Over here, M phase finishes and interface started, and when interface ends over here, M phase starts. You're getting it? Yes. Okay. Okay, so let's continue. So we were talking about this, right? So the interface is basically the phase between two successive, what to say, two successive M phases, and M over here means mitosis. Okay, mitosis is what you mean by M phase. Okay, yes. The M phase represents the phase when the actual cell division or the mitosis occurs, and the interphase. And M phase is basically the actual cell division, actual cell division. This is where basically the image that you see, this cell gets this cell gets divided into two babies cell, which is called as two daughter cells. That thing over here happens in the M phase, है ना? Yes, मेरा बच्चा. That happens in the M phase. Okay. It is significant to note that in 24 hours average, the average duration of the cell cycle of human cell, the cell division proper lasts for only an hour. This is something that I have already said. Cell division or the M phases in human cell lasts only for 1 hour, whereas the 23 hours are for the interphase. है ना? Yes. Uh, mm, Whereas the interface lasts for more than 95 percentage. Interface lasts for more than 95 percentage. For how many? For more than 95 percentage of the cell cycle as a interface. Yes, interface. The M phase starts with the nuclear division. And how does M phase start? मेरा बच्चा, M phase starts with the nuclear division. First, the nucleus divides, and then comes the cell. Okay. It is so hard to rub this food. Okay. Hmm. M phase. First, nuclear division, which is karyokinesis. Second is cytoplasm division. So yes, this is what it happens basically. The M phase, which is basically what M phase is basically your M phase is basically okay. M phase is basically your okay, cool. So emphasis basically a mitosis, and it begins with the nuclear division, which is called as karyokinesis, which ends to begin what happened, which is followed by yes, and corresponding to the separation of the MP starts with the nuclear division, corresponding to the separation of chromosomes. So daughter chromosomes karyokinesis happens and usually ends with the division of cytokinesis. First, nuclear division happens, and then coming to cytokinesis. Cytokinesis happens, which is division happens, the interface, through though called as resting phase. Yes, this is the M phase. M phase is called as M phase is mitosis, and interphase. Interphase is where actually a lot of works happen, but in contradiction to that, interphase is called as resting phase. What it is called as interphase, called as resting phase. Okay. Hmm. is a time during which the cell prepares the division, and this interface, during this interface is when the cell prepares itself for the division, actual division. It prepares for the division by undergoing cell growth. Because how does it prepare? By undergoing cell growth and DNA replication. It undergoes two things: cell growth, because cytoplasm increases, है ना, and DNA replication. I'll write it separately. Interface, cell growth, and DNA replication. Yes. In orderly manner, it happens in the orderly manner. In an order, it happens. It is not random. That's what we said. It happens in an orderly manner. And the interface is divided further into three phases. Interface को हम तीन phases में divide किया है. Interfaces is divided into three phases. Okay, which is basically G1 phase, S phase, and G2 phase. There is also one more phase which is called as G0 phase. Okay, we'll talk about that. G1 phase, S phase, and G2 phase. G1 is gap 1 phase, G2 is gap 2 phase, and S phase is synthesis. Okay, synthesis. I didn't quite catch that. Could you please repeat it? Okay. So basically, interface is basically divided into three phases: G1 gap 1 phase, S phase, which is synthesis phase, and G2, which is gap 2 phase. Okay, you can read it. Yes. Huh. Okay. So yes. Yes, G phase corresponds to the intervals between the mitosis, and G1 gap 1 phase corresponds to the interval between the mitosis and initiation of a DNA phase. Okay, wait. Over here, I will draw. things you might not understand. P, N, A, T, and C. Okay. Okay. So yes. Hmm. So yes, the interphase, though called the resting phase, is a time during which the cell is preparing for division by undergoing cell growth and DNA replication in an orderly manner. These are the phases. Yes, G1 phase corresponds to the intervals between yes, mitosis and mitosis. This is mitosis phase. Okay, this is mitosis and the mitosis interval between the mitosis and initiation of a DNA replication, because over here DNA replicates, है ना? So that is what it is shown over here. Where is G1? G1 is in between the M phase, in between the M phases and okay, in between the M phase and the DNA initiation of DNA replication, basically the S phase. Okay, yes, or synthesis phase. S or synthesis phase marks the period during which DNA synthesis or replication takes place. That's what exactly I said. During this phase, the DNA per cell doubles. DNA over here, DNA जो भी DNA होता है, DNA content doubles. Okay, it becomes double. Hmm. Hmm. DNA content doubles. Yes, that is in the initial amount of DNA is the initial amount of DNA is represented as 2C becomes 4C. Yes, if initial amount of DNA is represented as 2C and a 2C is the DNA content, so matlab that becomes twice, which means that becomes 4C. However, there is no increase in chromosome number. Chromosome number was before also 2N and now also it is 2N itself. क्रोमोसोम नंबर में कोई चेंज नहीं होता है, देयर इज एब्सोल्युटली नो चेंज इन द what to say chromosome number, but DNA content doubles, that is from 2C it becomes 4C. Okay, yes, it becomes 4C. However, there is no increase in the chromosome number if the cell had had deployed or 2n number of a chromosome in 2G. Here it was 2n and 2C. Here when it reached over here, it became 2n and 4C. You are getting it, right? Yes. Chromosome number was 2n itself. Chromosome was this thing itself. And now also it is that thing itself. Okay? Yes. Even after S phase, the number of chromosomes remain the same. Even after तो आप तो सोचेंगे इस पे S पे DNA replication हो गया, then तो मतलब chromosome replicate हो जाएंगे, वो भी 4n हो जाएंगे ना बाबा ना. It's not like that. Even after S phase, when it goes to G2 phase also, what happens? It is remaining as 2n itself. Chromosome number is 2n itself, and DNA content is 4C. Okay, yes. However, there is no change. Yes. In animals, during S phase, DNA replication begins with the nucleus. Okay. In animals की बात करते हैं, तो how does DNA replication happen? In animal cells during S phase, in animal cells, S phase, S phase, DNA replication begins in the nucleus. DNA replication begins in nucleus. Begin. Okay. and the centriole duplicates in the cytoplasm. And the centriole, where does centriole duplicate? Centriole duplicates in the cytoplasm. In the animal cell, first what happened, DNA replication in the nucleus happens, and then centrioles also duplicate in the cytoplasm. It duplicates. Okay, during the G2 phase, the proteins are synthesized in the preparation for in preparation for mitosis, while the cell growth continues. Okay, in G2 phase, what does G2 phase happens? In G2 phase, proteins are synthesized for mitosis, whereas the cell growth continues side by side. Plus हमारे what to say, proteins are also synthesized. Okay, you're getting it. Yes. So, hi guys, let's continue. Some cells in the adult animals do not appear to exhibit division, like heart cells, and many other cells divide only occasionally and need as needed to replace the cells that have been lost because of injury or cell death. These cells that do not divide further exits the G1 phase to enter an inactive stage called as G0, or quiescent stage of the cell cycle. The cell in this stage remains metabolically active, but no longer proliferate unless called on to do so, depending on the requirement of the organisms. Yes. So basically, what it is saying is that we have talked about G1 phase, S phase, and G2 phase. Yes. So, beside this, I have mentioned before that there is also a phase called as G0 phase, which I will be talking about later, and that later is right now. Okay. So when you're saying this is a cycle, this is your M phase. This becomes your G1 phase. This becomes your S phase, and this becomes your G2 phase. And what happens after M phase, when the cell comes over here, some cells escape. Some in the adult, in adult animals, some cells escapes and enter an inactive phase where they are metabolically active, which means all the chemicals in them are going on, which means they are technically alive, है ना, सारे चीजें वो कर रही है. They're doing all the other things, except division. They are not performing division or any of that sort of things, but they are alive. They have all the chemical reactions happening. They are metabolically active. Which is anabolic and catabolic reactions, everything is going on. Take it, this L is very very lively, but they are in an inactive state, because they are not, we are talking about division. In the case of division, they are not active, so we say that they are in an inactive phase. Okay, there are some cells, ऐसा नहीं है सारे cells ऐसे हो जाते हैं. No, that's not the case. Some cells, like heart cells, what they do, they exit the cycle and they go for rest phase, and they don't divide further. They escape, they exit, they come to the G1 phase and they exit the G1 phase and to enter the G0 phase, right? Yes, and then and they don't proliferate, they don't grow bigger, and they just stay ऐसे ही, and they until and unless the call comes from brain. अरे तू शुरू कर, है ना, है ना, हमें जरूरत है तुम्हारा. कैसे वाला, है ना. Why should I proliferate, why should I divide? I was sitting here very आराम से seeing TV, because one of the cell has died, cell death, or what to say, one you or we have lost some cells. There's an emergency, we have lost cells due to some injury, so jaldi aja, jaldi replicate karo aur jaldi aja. So heart cells, those cells, heart cells will be like, yes sir, I'm back on form. And what do? They enter back into the G1 phase, and then from G1 they go to S phase. From S they will go to G2 phase, and then M phase happens. Okay, yes. That's what it is. Okay, yes. In animals, mitotic cell division is only seen in diploid somatic cells. Okay. Yes, mitotic. Hmm. However, there are some exceptions to where haploid cells divide by mitosis. For example, male honeybees. Yes. Yes. This in animals you can see जो भी diploid होते हैं, whoever are diploid, two and multiple of two, है ना? They show mitosis. Only they show mitosis, but there are some exceptions, है ना? That is why I said, how is that possible? There's some exceptions like meiosis में haploid cells also multiply by mitosis in high. Okay, yes. However, the few exceptions to this where haploid cells divide by mitosis. Haploid cells जो होते हैं they divide by mitosis. For example, male honeybees है ना, male honeybees they divide by mitosis. Against this, the plants can show mitotic division in both. And then coming to plants can show mitosis in both haploid as well as diploid. दोनों की स्टेज में भी आपको mitosis दिख जाएंगे, ठीक है? Yes. From your recollection of examples of alternation of generations, that's fine. Okay. That will come next other day, because I'm not saying that point because I have not taught you. You might have learned it, alternation of this thing, alternation of generations in plants itself. Yes, I guess it is in plant kingdom. Okay. Talking about the M phase. Okay. Talking about the M phase, yes, this is the most dramatic period of cell cycle involving a major reorganization of vital all components of the cell. Yes, since the number of chromosomes in the parents and progeny are equal, it is called as equivalent division. So yes, in M phase, this is mitotic phase. Mitotic phase. Here, when you see, if this was your parent, two daughter cells you're getting. So here it is 2n, here also it is 2n, here also it is 2n. So when you're looking into it, the chromosome numbers are same, right? The chromosome numbers are same. So what do we say? It is equivalent division, okay? Equivalent division. Just saying it right now, but if it was meiosis, 2n happens, you'll get n and n. So here basically it is reducing, so reduction division. Just comparing it, okay, right now. As it was mentioned, I just gave it because I just felt that if you say it like this, it would be useful for you. You will remember it better. You may check the search results I found online. Okay. Yes. Though for convenience, mitosis has divided into, yes, convenience के लिए we have divided mitosis and the basically convenience वगैरह छोड़ो, mitosis is divided into four stages. Four stages of what? Four stages of nuclear division. Very important, okay? Four stages of nuclear division. Karyokinesis, we say nuclear division is karyokinesis, and cell division, cytoplasmic division is cytokinesis. First, nuclear division is karyokinesis, and cytoplasmic division is karyokinesis. First, nuclear division happens, which is the karyokinesis happen, which is followed by the cytokinesis or cytoplasmic division, right? Yes. So, yes. The mitosis is basically divided into four stages of nuclear division. Four stages of nuclear division it is. Okay? Yes. Four stages of nuclear division. Right. First is prophase, then it is metaphase, then it is anaphase, then it is telophase. Okay. Umma. So these are the four divisions, the four stages of nuclear division in mitosis. For mitosis has four stages of nuclear division, that is prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. What are these phases? You need to know, Hannah. It's very important to know. Just saying for information so that in further when I say that you will be relating it much more, hopefully. So that is because that is this mitosis is actually, wait, before that, meiosis. When you're saying about meiosis is basically the one that I said, reduction division. It has meiosis 1 and 2. It has 1 and 2 in it. Okay, it has 1 and 2 in it. And what to say? Yes, and the meiosis 2. Meiosis 2 is a lot similar to the mitosis. Okay, mitosis that right now I am gonna teach. So, that is very, very similar. Uh, okay, yes. So, understand it much more better, so meiosis becomes much more easier for you. A lot of people find meiosis a lot tough. That's why I just said, so that half the meiosis, when I say that you're done with mitosis, you get to believe that half your meiosis is also done. Okay, yes. Okay, first we are going to start with the first stage of mitosis, first stage of nuclear division in mitosis, that is prophase. Right. Hmm. Prophase, which is the first stage. Prophase is the first stage of karyokinesis of mitosis. Prophase is the first stage of karyokinesis of mitosis, followed by S and the G2 phase of interphase. G2 phase of interphase, right? Wait.